our generation's going to have to accept sooner or later that we're living through unprecedented times, and that means that our trajectory in life will be unprecedented. And this is particularly for Americans, right? We've grown up with this belief that we will live the type of life that's presented on the TV screen, that one day we will become suburbanites, picket fence, and all that. But I think we just have to recognize that that's not going to be our trajectory in life, and then that's okay, right? That's not something that's necessarily um, that can necessarily mean a bad thing, right? It's an uncertain thing. It's something that's unprecedented, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. Um, and I just say this in reflection because it's hard to confront that, right? I think a large swath of our generation. I mean, I'm high school class of 2020, right? And so going through all that, right, getting all these major milestones, American milestones, graduation, prom, going to college, getting that completely, right, steamrolled by these social and global events. It sucks, right? But I don't think it's healthy for us to just try to bury that. No, we really, that's a part of who we are. That's a part of our identity, right? And I think despite how shitty it is, um, it does provide a pathway for us to create something completely new, right? And I think that's where we should tap our energies into. That's how we should start looking at things, right? Not in a sense of, well, they'll just go back to normal. There is no normal anymore. Normal's over, right? We have to tap into new ways of living, new ways of being, right? And I think there's a lot of positive stuff there, right? I mean, it's endless possibilities, right? We can create the world over, right, if we really put our minds to it. But simply just, constraining ourselves to these preconceived notions, these made up ideas about life and how things should be run, right? That's not going to do it anymore. We're going to be left unfulfilled if we continue down that path. I also think this is a very practical form of resistance, right? I mean, if those in power, the rich and the politicians, if they want to now play by no rules, and we also get the opportunity to play by no rules, or at least create our own rules. Let me put it like that: create our own rules, right? Where we can do things differently, right? And we can approach things differently. It's a form of resistance, and I think we should look at it like that, and use that as kind of the cultural vehicle to funnel real material change. The old way is just not going to work anymore. The old way is inadequate for these times, and it's hard for a lot of folks to let go of that. The whole world to let go of that, but we have to let go of that. This is a new era, a new time, and this is where we're at.